Shane Cooper from Fightstore Media here, sitting alongside Mark Casserly up in Champion Martial Arts. Mark was one half of the main event on CMT 7 against the legendary gunslinger John Wayne Parr. Mark, first of all, how are you feeling?
Good. I think when you're fighting professionally, you have to get used to winning and losing.
Yeah.
So, and then you have to define them as well. So I think it can be unhealthy to define every loss in the ring as a bad performance, or categorically as bad. I could have done a lot better. From what I've taken away from it, fighting main event in Brisbane against John Wayne Parr, a lot of things worked well, even though the decision didn't go my way in the end, and a lot of things didn't work well. I know what I need to work on and what I can do, and most of all, after thinking about it, I'm just happy to have had the opportunity to fight a peer of mine, a hero of mine since I've started Muay Thai, and I think I'm still kind of thinking about that, and I'm happy about that. So overall, all in all, no one likes to lose or not get their hand raised, but it was a great experience.
Yeah, and overall, it's not really a bad loss to have, really, is it? It's not.
No, but the competitive nature of an athlete or a fighter, you're trying to override. I'm trying to override kind of the wants and the needs of winning, and sometimes you need a little bit of time, and I think over the next few days I think I'll be able to analyse it a little bit more objectively.
Yeah. You originally scheduled to fight Michael Badado.
Yeah.
So you were training here in Ireland and you flew out. How long before the fight did you know?
It was nearly before the plane flight. The same day we were flying out, I was asked would I be interested in fighting John Wayne Parr. I said 110%. What most people don't know is Michael Badado, the guy I was originally supposed to fight, is a phenomenal fighter.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. Now, he was off my radar, I didn't know, but over that side of the world, he's causing eruptions, he's knocking people out. He fought Johan Ledon, world champion, French fighter at 76 kilos, and he knocked him out in round one. Michael Badado then went off to France, and I didn't think he lost on points. So he's world class. He's just not on, I suppose, the commercial radar of everyone's kind of. I hadn't heard of him, but he has tremendous knockout power. So either way, John Wayne Parr was the high profile fight, and obviously one of the best fighters in the world, if not the best Farang. But Michael Badado is definitely a very, very close and dangerous second.
Yeah,
so
that fight is still a huge fight, an opportunity for you as well.
Yeah, and Michael Badado's gone. I think he has 5 straight knockouts in round one. No one's gotten out of round one with him. So
he's a scary guy.
He's, we were sauning at the sauna off. I don't sauna off too much weight. I kind of do all the hard dietary work coming up to a fight. But the day of the weigh-in, I only had to drop maybe 0.8 of a kilo, so I didn't have to lose much, and I had a lot of recovery. Yeah, and I was sitting in the sauna, and Michael Badado kind of came in, and he went, "Hey Mark, welcome to Australia," and that was our first greeting. It was crazy. These guys are, John Wayne Parr, Michael Badado, and the undercard, dangerous guys in the ring. Scary kind of personas if you've only seen them, if you only know them.
The fighter.
Yeah, and you think that it's, they're like that all the time. They're absolutely gentlemen.
Because he took you for a tour around the gym, like doing and everything, wasn't it?
He took me for a tour. I met his kids. His wife was going to make us food. The day after we fought, he took us to a theme park with his family. The day before the fight, the day before the weigh-in, we went to Boonshu Restaurant. Boonshu Restaurant is where John Wayne Parr's gym got its name. Yeah. Back about 20 years ago, the owner of Boonshu Restaurant sent us to Thailand to train. And out of respect, John Wayne Parr named his gym after the owner of that Thai restaurant on the Gold Coast. So we met the owner of the gym that sent John Wayne Parr over, 2 decades ago.
The guy that started him,
we got to meet, and we walked in one day, and I met John. This is the second time meeting him over there, and I didn't know if we'd have that competitive air between us. And he just, big smile on his face, and waved us over and said, "Come on over." And we chatted about cheesies, 80 movies, and everything, bar fighting, and that's, he's a gentleman and he's a world class fighter.
How does that play with you? Because you're obviously preparing to go to war with this man.
No, not really, because I don't think there was any, there was no ulterior motive. I think the better the fighters you fight, or the better the fighter you are, there's no act, there's no persona, because it's engulfing. It's what you do every single day. I'm a fighter. when I get up and I have breakfast, if I'm going to the bank, I've the mentality of a fighter, which isn't always aggressive. Aggressive is only one part. It's problem solving. It's abstract thinking. It's perseverance. It's all these other, you know. There's a lot of other things that go with it, and a part of it is just being confident, self-confident that you know you've got to war the next day.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to war doesn't mean you're enemies. And I've found that, you know, I've fought in my career through Olympic Taekwondo, Muay Thai, K1. I've fought, you know, UFC guys. I've fought 2 Olympic champions in Paris and in, I think, Azerbaijan. And they all have one thing in common, even though the sports are very, very different, is that the top end guys, the world champions, Olympic champions, they're very self-confident. They have a lot of time and respect for their opponents, for officials. And that's one thing. There's a common denominator there with greatness.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that's something that I've seen over there with
That 3%.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just think like Wayne Parr, his personality he drags you into him, like you want to be his friend. Like,
Yeah.
And I could imagine when your mentality is like, you know, you're gonna have to hurt this guy. And he's just smiling and, as you said, introducing him to his kids. That must be conflicting or confusing, and
there's a certain amount of, you know, ambivalence. There's, you know, what do you feel, what do you not feel. But again, I've been through this many times, and it suits me. You know, I've had guys that do the whole theatrical push, and some guys that are, you know, always angry as fighters. They have short fuses, and to be honest, the scary guys are the guys that are smiling and quiet, but it's not an act, it's just them being them, because it means that they're so clued into the moment. The best fighters in the world can they can focus in short periods of time and live in the moment, and that's how they knock people out. They're not, when they're in pain, they don't go to a happy place, they don't go to a beach and think, oh, I'm not in pain anymore. They learn how to, you know, increase their threshold of pain, how to focus sharper. So this is why I know with guys that are relaxed and calm, they're quite dangerous, because that's my philosophy. And he's obviously he's about 3 times my fights. I think I'm his 123rd fight. I've 47 fights at the moment in Muay Thai and K1.
49 minutes, isn't it?
And there's still a lot to learn. You never stop learning, and I think even if I had 123 fights, I'd still think I would have a lifetime's worth of knowledge to learn.
It's walking along that road to perfection. No, you're never going to be perfect, but you still take a step.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of similarities in methodologies of kind of how he went about things. It would be the same way as how I train. There's a lot of humour in the gym. There's a lot of friendship, and there's a great support system around his training and his family and his fighters, and even fighters that don't fight, if you know what I mean. Guys that train with the fighters. They're all a support system. Everyone has their place like a family. And you know what, I love that. But at no point did I find that he was trying to disarm me with his charm or disarm me with that.
He was being genuine. And
he was being genuine, and I would have loved to knock him out early, and he would have loved to, you know, to knock me out in the first round. So there was no conflicting. I didn't find it conflicting, but I would see how some fighters would.
What do you take away from that, as in testing yourself on one of the biggest stages ever, like, you know, against Wayne Parr?
Yeah, you know, it's perception. The way I went into it, and the way I have done for many years. If I'm fighting in China or Canada, which were the 2 previous fights onto this, I treat every fight as if it's in this one same place, this void. It's one ring in this black hole, this void, against one opponent, and that's it. I don't care if it's in China, if it's in Russia, if I was fighting in Petersburg or Vegas. I'm fighting in one ring against one guy, and what I find is that takes away the kind of the extrinsic stress. I'm not thinking about the lights. I don't care if the MC messes up my name. I don't care if they make mistakes like the tricolour is turned upside down. I don't let that affect me. All I know is there's definitely one ring, there's one referee, and there's one competitor, and I'm going to go to war. So once I keep that template in my head and my training flows over into the ring, what I've done in my training camp, well then that's performance, and that's how I'm happy. Now I'll dissect what I've done right and what I've done wrong. If there's any hesitations, and this is what I'll go through with a fine-tooth comb over the next week or 2. But once I keep that template of that one ring, that one person, I find that I can keep a very narrow, focused kind of view on my opponent.
Does the opponent matter? Would you look
no,
at them?
not anymore.
Everybody knows how Wayne Parr fights.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Regardless of a world-class fighter like Wayne Parr, I'm nervous every single fight. I'm nervous. Even when
What are you nervous about?
Do you know, I think I'm nervous of, and if you ask your support system, your family and friends, of letting people down. Even though there is no pressure.
Because the actual act of what you're doing is you're making so many people proud.
Yeah, and even in saying that, I'd be a little bit embarrassed even saying that, because it makes you kind of think, you're on this next level other than everyone else, which I wouldn't think whatsoever. But I do feel that when you're training and you're competing, you sacrifice a lot personally and professionally, with friends and family, with your partner. You do have to be a little bit selfish, or a lot selfish, when it came to me for this training camp. So time was sacrificed with a lot of people, and I could see them, for the greater good of my training, I could see them sacrificing. So it's a linear effect. I'm affecting positively and negatively a lot of the times, a lot of negativity on that, and they want me to do so well. And even though I know deep down they don't care if I win or I lose, they just want me to be happy and to be safe and to enjoy myself. But I've never fully understood that fighters do take on the weight of the world, and the more fights I have, what I learn is it's more about what you do outside of the ring, handling the stress outside of the ring, how to relax, and relationships, dealing with people, not just with that. And that's why I found out with Wayne Parr, because he's fought so many times, that he is just a genuine, normal person, that can just have an instant rapport with someone.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's a long journey, and I think everyone learns their own template of how they should act, and when they act wrong, when to apologise, when not to apologise.